Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
A very funny Wednesday edition of Classic Radio Theater with episodes of The Henry Morgan Show, Day in the Life of Dennis Day, also Bob Hope, and an episode from 1952 with Tyrone Power, George Burns and Gracie Allen, and we'll wrap it all up with a quarter hour with Lum and Abner and the Wonderful World storyline. The Diogenes storyline, if you know what I'm talking about. That's what's coming up here on this Wednesday, 19th day of February. This is the 50th day of 2024, 25 rather, 315 days remaining till we get to 26. Yeah, it's the first time I've said 24 instead of 25, and it only took me, 50 days to do it. England and the Netherlands signed the Peace of Westminster on this date in 1674, ending the Third Anglo-Dutch War. A provision of the agreement transferred the Dutch colony of New Amsterdam to England, and they renamed New Amsterdam New York. In Alabama on this date in 1807, former Vice President of the U.S. Aaron Burr arrested for treason. In Austin, Texas on this date in 1846, the newly formed Texas government officially installed. The Republic of Texas officially transferred power to the state of Texas government following Texas's annexation by the United States. In 1878, the phonograph patented by Thomas Edison, and in this recording he recites the first words he ever recorded on the phonograph.
The first words I spoke in the original phonograph. A little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
The first words Edison spoke into the phonograph, as he reported it, but he patented it on this date in 1878. Kansas became the first state of the Union to prohibit all alcoholic beverages on this date in 1881. Kansas would end up slowly bringing them back. The only thing you could get for a very long time in Kansas was 3.2 beer. And there was an attorney general in the state of Kansas by the name of Vern Miller who would go aboard airplanes that flew over the state of Kansas. And once they got over the state of Kansas, he'd make them shut down serving any sort of alcohol. And he arrested people. He did. Kansas, for a state that used to be so conservative, it has moved quite a bit to the left. 1913, prizes included in Cracker Jack candy boxes for the first time. In 1953, Georgia approved the first literature censorship board in the U.S. And in 1964, Paul Simon wrote The Sounds of Silence, a song which in a year and a half would catapult him and Art Garfunkel to stardom as Simon and Garfunkel. In 1968, National Educational Television, the predecessor to the public broadcasting system, debuted the children's television program that took us to the neighborhood, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. In 1986, the Soviet Union launched the Mir space station. After waiting 37 years, the U.S. Senate approved a treaty outlawing genocide in 1986. And in 2001, an Oklahoma City bombing museum dedicated at the Oklahoma City National Memorial. The center, a memorial to those 168 people who died and more than 500 who were injured in the Oklahoma City bombing.
The legacy of this place is heroism and goodness. That is what we celebrate in this museum.
Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating. In 2006, the Rolling Stones made the largest show open to the public of the world in Copacabana Beach, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. 1.3 million people went to the show. 2008, Fidel Castro announced he would step down as Cuba's president, that after a half century in power. President Bush hoped there would be more changes.
Eventually, this transition ought to lead to free and fair elections, and I mean free and I mean fair.
The only thing I will say to that is being in power for a half century is way too long. But then look at our United States Senate and our House of Representatives. We have people there who have been there for that long. And I know I'm getting political today, but you know what? It's if you spend a half year in a branch of government that's supposed to be citizen legislators, and you're there half a century, you're no longer a citizen legislator, you're a bureaucrat. Just my thoughts. In 2010, the FBI concluded Army scientist Bruce Ivans acted alone in the 2001 anthrax mailings that killed 5 people and formally closed the case after 9 years. Passing away on this date in history, sports entrepreneur Charlie O. Finley. His operation of the A's, it was really crazy. He was the huckster, and he would do all of these crazy things. And I really, looking at what the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas A's have become, Charlie was better than... Oh, well. Charlie Finley passing away on this date in history. Also, communist leader, revolutionary Deng Xiaoping. Grandpa Jones, I always enjoyed his work. Director Stanley Kramer, 2001. Singer Johnny Paycheck, who told the bosses to take this job and shove it. Actress Janet Blair. The man who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. And actor, comic. And we never knew that he was that good an actor till we saw him on Law & Order SVU. Richard Belzer.
See, that's my problem in life. Gee, that's what I lack. Planning. Foresightedness. I live for the moment. Problem is, once the moment passes, I'm unprepared for the next moment and the next. Ouch.
From Law & Order SVU, Richard Belzer passing away on this date 2 years ago today. Now, birthdays on this date include mathematician astronomer Nicholas Copernicus, also actor Sir Cedric Hardwicke. And we get a few of his radio shows every so often. British actress Merle Oberon, musician Stan Kenton, actor Lee Marvin. Paint Your Wagon, what an amazing... I enjoyed that much. Actress Karen Silkwood, John William Minton, better known as Big John Studd, the pro wrestler, and Austrian singer Falco, all born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Oh, we remember this man for so many years. Smokey Robinson, 85 years old today, who talks about his beginnings.
Auditorium teacher, she played this melody on the piano. And she said, well, they used to call me William or Bill in school. She said, well, William, she said, I don't have any words for this, but I'm going to get some words for you to sing. And you're going to sing this at the beginning of the show and at the end of the show. So I asked her, I said, well, can I write some words for it? Because I thought I could, and I liked it, So she thought it was very amusing and very cute that I was 6 years old and I wanted to write some words for it. So she said, okay. And she let me. And so I did it. And I wrote the words for the song, and I sang them at the beginning and sang them at the end. And my mother was all proud. I never forget, because when I went out at the end of the show and I went out, I was sitting in my mother's lap and she was crying because she was all proud and everything, But that was my first attempt at trying to write a song and doing it.
Smokey Robinson, 85 years old today. Another great singer. Well forgotten, by the way, Lou Christie. Lightning Strikes. Such a wonderful song. Lou Christie, 82 years old today. He was in The Martian and then Dumb and Dumber. But we probably best remember him for Dumb and Dumber. But he was also in The Newsroom. Jeff Daniels, 70 today.
That's Newsnight for September 23rd. Terry Smith is up next with the Capitol Report. I'm Will McAvoy. Good night.
From The Newsroom, Jeff Daniels, 70 today. Oh, a wonderful singer. He did so much great music, still is. Seal, 62 years old today.
1994. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
I don't know. To me, it was heartbreaking when he and Heidi Klum divorced, because as odd as it seemed, they seemed to be a wonderful couple and a wonderful, warm family. Seal, 62 years old today. From Family Ties, Justine Bateman is 59. Oh, you remember this? He got an Academy Award for Traffic. Also in The Usual Suspects. Benicio del Toro, 58 today.
Don't ever point a weapon at me again. Catch your breath. Get back up there.
From the movie Sicario, Benicio del Toro, 58 today. From Lost, Eric Lang is 52. From Seventh Heaven, Haley Duff, 40 years old. Actress Victoria Justice is 32. From Gotham, David Mazouz is 24. An actress, model, and producer from Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown, 21.
Friends don't lie. You say soon on day 21. You say soon on day 205. When is soon?
From Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown, 21. Those some of the people who made the 19th of February is their birthday. If this happens to be your birthday...
We baked you a birthday cake. If you get a tummy ache and you moan and groan and woe, don't forget we told you so. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Make a wish, dear, and blow out the candles.
Here they go.
And we'll start out going back 78 years for an episode of The Henry Morgan Show and the radio blood test. That's coming up next on this Wednesday edition of the Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox podcast.
Your contribution of $10 or $6.95 for the budget relief package will send more relief overseas than the same money spent any other way. To help people in foreign countries with food or clothing, send your check to Non-Profit Care, New York. That's Care, New York. Send your check, your name and address, and full particulars about who's to get the package. Care will do the rest.
He comes from the school of Fred Allen, and he also was an inspiration to Howard Stern. Henry Morgan, although you probably may not have seen much more of him growing up in the whole I've Got a Secret realm, Henry Morgan was really quite funny and really quite sarcastic and really quite good. This episode of The Henry Morgan Show is from 78 years ago today, February 19th, 1947.
The Henry Morgan Show? Eversharp, manufacturers of Eversharp Chick Injector Razors and Blades, brings you The Henry Morgan Show, featuring Bernie Green and his orchestra and a few surprises. Good evening, anybody. Here's Morgan. Thank you. Taxes! Taxes! I've been looking at the national budget. All those expenses. Frankly, I don't see how I can pay for all that stuff. The government's putting money into reforestation, Indian reservations, fisheries, hatcheries. Some of that stuff I hardly ever use. So I have some ideas. On how we can save money. For instance, in this country, if a man wants to run for president, Why don't we charge him an entry fee? Well, look at the money we'd collect every 4 years just from Albany. We'd run into... After all, Albany's the capital of New York State. That's if you're from out of town. After all, in this country, being president is the dream of every Tom, Dick, and, well... I'm sure of Tom, anyway. Another thing, maybe we're spending too much for congressmen. After all, do you realize that we have, 400-odd congressmen, and some of them are, Besides, they're absent much of the time, and I think every time a congressman is absent, he should pay a fine. You realize that would keep him on the job all the time, using every bit of his ability, all his brain power, all his... Maybe better leave it the way it is. Well, I have a lot of ideas like that, and while I'm trying to forget them, here's an unusual guy. His name is Rector Bailey, and he plays the guitar. And while that's going on, he sings a song that he picked up in Haiti. It's a killer. This is Rector Bailey.
Have you heard about the new way of testing radio listeners? Fascinating. We found out that some programs relax people while others excite them. In order to find out which does which, they strap you down, turn on the radio full blast, and take your blood pressure. Let's see how this blood pressure test works. We have with us this evening the famous scientist, Professor Dr. Heinrich Jawohl Morgan, who will conduct the experiments. Right this way, Dr. Morgan. Please.
Yeah. Listen, I got to have a volunteer, please, from the audience. I got to have somebody check or took his blood pressure.
Hey, how about me, Doc? Hey, how about me? Hey?
You? Yeah, all right, except I could use better somebody with blood, but we work it out some ways. Now sit down here. Now roll up the arm, please.
You mean roll up the sleeve, Doc?
All right, by you it's perfect English. Congratulations. Here, I roll it up for you. My goodness, what a skinny arm you got.
That's my chest, Doctor.
Well, never mind. We got to use something. All right. Turn on the radio, please, and tell me when the meter shows a change in his blood pressure.
All right, Doctor. Here's the first program. A mystery. Blood pressure up 10 points. Up 30.
Welcome to Inner Eardrum. Dark in here, isn't it?
Up 40.
This is the story of Oswald Krubish, who was losing his mind. He had just killed his mother-in-law.
Blood pressure down to normal.
Krubish watched his mind slowly slipping away.
I can't seem to remember anything. This headache. My mind. Where did I put it? I heard someone breathing. Hello? Climb
adamantine phosphorus. You, what do you want?
It's no use, Kruvish. The police will be here any minute. They'll find you dead. It will look like suicide. Take your hand away from that buzzer.
Pressure up 30.
You can't. I'll do anything. I'll give you diamonds, money.
One more step and I'll shoot.
Pressure up 60. Sweat on forehead.
You wouldn't shoot. That gun is empty.
Down 30.
It isn't empty. It has 3 bullets in it.
Up 30.
I took all the bullets out.
Down 30.
I changed guns.
Up 30.
Your time has come, Kruvish.
Up 90.
Now, what is the patient's blood pressure, please?
He doesn't seem to have any, Doctor.
Interesting. Let me see. Don't have no pulse, neither. Also, he ain't breathing. Somebody remove the volunteer, please. Another volunteer, please. Now, I knew we try other kinds program. We tie you up and you listen to a Mr. and Mrs. broadcast. We took you now to their little apartment, 6 o'clock in the morning. They talk about themselves, and it's very interesting. Also, they got a baby. Tune in, please, Mr. and Mrs. Klabiash.
Good morning, Snugglepot.
Good morning, Bunny Fur.
How are you this lovely, cheerful morning, dearest Pie?
Fine, my bobolink. And how is Daddy's ever-loving lover?
Blood pressure down 10. Patient drowsy.
Oh, guess where I went yesterday, Chicky Wick.
Were you at the office?
Yes. That wasn't hard to guess, was it?
No, it wasn't, Snooky Poo.
Then why did you ask me to guess?
Well, I thought you asked me to guess.
Oh, I did? Oh. I thought you asked me, cuddle girl.
Maybe I did. Well, anyway, you guessed right, Peach Fuzz.
Blood pressure down 20. Patient requires plasma.
Oh, here's Nursey with the baby. Oh, isn't he cute?
Yeah. Whose is he?
Why, ours, Potato Puff. At least I think he is.
Oh, well.
Oh, he's trying to say something.
Gosh, and only 9 years old.
Blood pressure down 20. Hands clammy.
Oh, Pussy Willow. I meant to tell you, baby bit the milkman today.
Pressure sinking fast, Doctor. Doctor, the experiment is over. Wake up!
Hey, Bud, come here. Step back in this dark doorway a minute, will you? I don't want nobody should interrupt our little conversation. I picked you out of the crowd because you look like the type fella appreciates a good deal when he hears it. Listen, you heard about the Eversharp Chick Injector Razor? Eversharp. All the time sharp, it means. Chick Injector. That means, well, that's the name of it. Razor means razor, like you shave yourself with. Listen, this here razor sells for $1.25 with 20 blades. It's quick, see, because it changes blades automatically. Wait a minute. Every time you buy an Eversharp Chick razor, it helps keep Morgan on the air. You heard the program? You think what? Is that so? Oh, is that so? Is that... How would you like a fat lip?
Well, now, go. Keep your hands off me. Cut it, David. What?
Not me, officer. I was just telling this guy about the Eversharp Chick Injector. Well, look, all I said was $1.25. He tried... No, I got one on me. There you are. $1.25. All right, officer, thank you very much. Here's your change. Yeah, the blades are in there. Thanks. So long, officer. Now, wise guy, what were you saying about Morgan?
And
Now it's time to look in again on Charlie and Henry, two of the men who write the commercials that you hear on the air and the advertisements that you see in the magazines. Charlie is at the bar in his favorite saloon when in walks Henry.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Henry. Sit down and have a drink.
Oh, thanks. I'll have a shot of Red Eye Rye, the favorite among men who demand the fare. This blend of fine whiskeys is aged in barrels overnight and costs only a few cents more.
Well, I'll have the same. Henry, you look great.
Yes. I was tired, in a mood run down. Until I took Vita pills. Now I feel great. Never better in my life. Pick my weight in wildcats, eat like a horse. Full of pep, vim, like a new man. I'm strong.
Henry, I'm sold.
Good. I was getting tired again.
Hey, I'll bet you're looking forward to your vacation this year.
Yes, indeedy. Last year, I took out a vacation savings policy. This splendid policy enables the man who sold it to me to take a 2 weeks vacation at my expense.
And what did you get out of it?
Travel booklets.
Well, I suppose you'll get in some golf. Have you played much lately?
Yes, indeedy. I've been using the Eversharp all-purpose golf club, which changes heads automatically. Just push, pull, click, click, and you're ready to slice.
Well, if you're going to be out in the sun, Henry, don't get burned.
No, sir. I use genuine Kickapoo suntan oil. I mix it with a little mustard and paprika and baste myself every half hour. Kickapoo suntan oil filters out the beta rays, allows in the gamma rays, keeps out the ionosphere, and lets in the low-frequency stuff.
Makes an even color?
No, blisters.
Well, your vacation has you smiling in anticipation. And, Henry, your smile is positively dazzling.
Of course. I brush my teeth with Dr. Banana's tooth powder. It has a secret ingredient which shrinks the lips, thereby exposing double the tooth surface.
Well, here's the waiter with our Red Eye Rye. Henry, you say it's really good?
Charlie, once you taste Red Eye Rye, you'll never ask for any other kind.
Why not?
It paralyzes the vocal cord.
Well, bottoms up. Down the...
What do you know? It really does.
As a public service and in the interests of international friendship, we bring you now the gossip column from the Russian newspaper Izvestia and the columnist Dimitri Morganovich Morgan. Here's his famous column, Dimitri's Keyhole.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Russia and all the... So he ain't got no ships at sea. Flush. As was exclusively predicted in this column last month, this month is February. Flash. I predict a new twosome. Vasily Vasilyevich Kurzakov was seen with Maria Nazimovna Takrenko lately. Remember their names. Flash. The moving pictures colony has discovered a new star. Blonde, petite, and only 18 years of old. This cutie pie is named Herzegovina Bielishuk. She hails from little old Vladivostok. Watch for her in new picture, The Road to Siberia. While we are on subject, what movie star who has wife is going around with movie star who has husband? You don't know. It's maybe your business. Say, next week opens here in Moscow Unusual Type Nightclub. Imported direct from New York City, United States, America, 52nd Street. Anybody who is everybody is going there. Nowhere in Russia we got this. Little room, full of smoke, food no good, prices too high, floor show terrible, real American. Well, I got to go to opening, so this is Comrade Morganovich Morgan's little boy Dimitri saying good night to you, and I do mean Tovarich.
Strange stories of history.
When George Washington was a boy, on the occasion of his birthday, his father gave him a hatchet as a present. To see how the new hatchet worked, little George went out into the yard and cut down a cherry tree. Later, when his father asked him who had cut down the tree, little George replied, "I cannot tell a lie. The kid next door did it." This story has been cleaned up for kids. But Washington never realized that years later, Bernie Green and his orchestra would do this thing they're going to do now. Bernie has tossed in jazz, rumba, conga, something like the Benny Goodman Sextet, something of Lombardo and Count Basie, all based on music by Offenbach, whoever that is. Bernie calls it Offenbach on Broadway. And here is Uncle Charlie.
No other safety razor you ever used can compare with an Eversharp Chic Injector. It's the only razor with an automatic blade changer. It gives you a shave so swift, so smooth, so easy, you hardly know you've got whiskers. Get your Eversharp Chic Injector razor tomorrow. Discover for yourself the convenience of its automatic blade changer that changes blades when you need new blades like a machine gun. Fast as this. Listen. Hear that double click? A push, a pull, click, click, and you're ready to shave. No blades to unwrap, no cut fingers. The blade automatically locks in the correct shaving position. Moreover, the patented guard bar holds each hair erect, so it's cut with maximum closeness. It makes clean, no-nick shaving under nose and lips easy. Eversharp Chic Injector blades are double thick, hollow ground, honed to superlative keenness. They last longer. For the cleanest, closest, smoothest shaves you've ever known, get an Eversharp Chic Injector razor at your dealers tomorrow. It's $1.75 value, the razor alone made to sell for $1, the blade 75 cents. Yet it's yours, complete, Eversharp Chic Injector razor with 20 blades for only $1.25. Compare. Comparison proves. Use Eversharp Chic Injector razor for the world's quickest, easiest, cleanest shave.
Hello.
Hello, Hortense. This is Gerard.
You have the operator.
I have?
Yes.
Well, I don't want her. What happened to Hortense?
To whom?
To my party.
Your party is temporarily out of order.
She is? Gee, what's the matter with my party?
Her dial is not working properly.
Oh. Well, how soon will my party be in order again?
We are not allowed to give out that information.
Even if I promise not to tell nobody?
I am sorry.
Gee, it sounds serious. Gee, this leaves me in a terrible mess.
I will give you repair service.
I don't need no repairs. My dial's working. Anyways, I just wanted to find out if she'd go to the Coming Attractions Theater with me.
I will give you information.
Hey, wait, operator.
Yes.
Maybe you like to step out with me tonight.
I will give you a slap in the face.
Gee, she didn't acquiesce.
Well, it's too bad that Hortense and Gerard won't be going to the Coming Attractions Theater tonight. It's a very good bill. Let's see. They're showing the coming attractions of The Yearling, The Dark Mirror. What? The Dark Mirror. Caesar and Cleopatra, The Killers, Lassie, Son of Lassie, Return of Lassie, Lassie Joins the Navy, The Razor's Edge, The Bride Wore White, and Selected Shorts. They're showing the best parts of $20 million worth of pictures for only 60 cents. Their true value. The average American spends 120 hours a year at the movies, or enough time to recover from a serious illness. All this time can be saved at the Coming Attractions Theater. Professor, start the reel.
Coming, Mun, choose, wed, sensation, pitch.
Mightier than Mutiny on the Bounty.
More thrilling than 2 years before the mask.
A saga of desperate men on a whaling boat. Don't miss...
Blubber.
Blubber was produced by Repulsive Pictures, makers of Repulsive Pictures.
Thrilling scenes as the whaling boat crosses the turbulent ocean with its precious cargo of blubber. You'll see the ruthless captain, Beast Morgan, ruling his crew with an iron hand.
Captain Morgan! Man overboard! Man overboard!
Is he an officer?
No!
Full speed ahead.
But Beast! That's the sucker man today who was washed overboard!
Tired, stubborn washed on this ship.
After all, Beast, you know we're not pigs. We're not swine. We're human beings.
Mr. Worcestershire. That's an exaggeration.
The Atlantic and Pacific Oceans used in this picture were borrowed from the United States Navy.
One beautiful girl on board, surrounded by 40 desperate, love-starved men. She's always enchanting, always exciting, always running.
Beast,
What is it, Sadie?
the men, they're threatening mutiny. They'll kill you.
Kill me? I'll just slap your face for that.
Don't let them kill you, Beast. I love you.
Love me? I'll just slap your face for that. But you're beautiful, Sadie. Come here and let me...
I ought to slap your face for that.
You little she-devil. I feel like throwing you to the sharks.
Then why don't you?
Maybe I should have just slapped her face. Well, that washes up, Sadie, and we've just saved you 20 minutes or enough time to write your congressman to keep rent control.
The picture Blubber is based on a help-wanted ad in the New York Times.
Beast Morgan was the terror of the 7 seas and others. In scenes like these...
Mr. Worcestershire, come here.
Yeah, Beast.
Orders for the day.
Yeah.
Every man gets 20 lashes for breakfast with milk. Hang the third mate from the yardarm. Give the ship class. Haul down the skull and bones. Put up new ones.
Well, where am I going to get our new skull and bones?
Use the first mates.
You're a beast, but you're a great sailor.
Thank you, Mr. Worcestershire. Come here and I'll carve my initials on your chest.
Brute force meets brute force as violence sweeps the ship. The first time the ship has been swept.
Mr. Worcestershire, come here.
No.
Mr. Worcestershire, what does this mean?
This ship is ours.
Yours?
That's ours. 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 Ours.
These desperate sailors had wills of iron.
Beast, we want that blubber.
That's my blubber.
Come on, Morgan. Where do you keep the blubber?
I don't know. Am I my blubber's keeper? Boo. What else do you men want?
This ship is in danger. The mice are deserting it.
You mean we're thinking?
No, they refuse to eat the food.
Mr. Springbottom, come here.
Yeah, Beast.
Mr. Springbottom, is this mutiny?
M-U-T-I-N. Yeah, it's mutiny.
thrill at the sight of men fighting a storm at sea.
It's a nor'easter! It's a sou'easter! It's Easter!
Shall we color eggs?
Captain, land ahead!
What?
Land ahead!
I can't hear you.
Land underneath!
You'll never see another picture like Blubber.
And that's a promise.
See this thrilling drama packed with chills, thrills, and...
Blubber.
At the Henry Morgan Theater of Current Attractions.
Morgan will be on this same corner in front of the cigar store again next week at this same time. Eversharp, manufacturers of Eversharp Chick Injector Razors and Blades, invite you to tune in same time, same station next week when Eversharp will again bring you the Henry Morgan Show.
Henry Morgan's sarcasm cost him sponsors. It did. The Adler Shoe Company was a local sponsor for his show when it was a quarter hour in New York City. And he kept talking about Old Man Adler. Well, the Adler folks didn't like him talking about Old Man Adler and his shoes until people started going in and asking for Old Man Adler at the shoe stores. And they found out maybe this stuff works. And it did. Henry Morgan really, he was his own worst enemy in a lot of ways in his personal life. But by and large, Morgan was funny. He really was. 78 years ago, February 19th, 1947, Henry Morgan here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up next, yes please, A Day in the Life of Dennis Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the next 7 years of bigger and bigger enrollments, America's grade schools will need nearly 250,000 extra teachers, besides those to fill normal vacancies. This great need, plus the growing public interest in education and improvements in schools, make elementary school teaching a more rewarding career than ever, a career that high school and college students should certainly consider. Education holds America's future, perhaps your future.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with an episode of A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Dennis had 2 shows. He really did have 2 shows. It always used to be a big joke on the Jack Benny show when Dennis would talk about, I have 2 shows. Yeah. Day in the Life of Dennis Day, 76 years ago, February 19th, 1949.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Day.
Every song that I sing, I'll sing to you, and I hope I can bring you a smile or two.
Dennis Day is brought to you by Palmolive Soap and Palmolive Shave Creams. Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Palmolive Shave Creams for a smoother, more comfortable way to shave. And now, here is Dennis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, the Alumni Society of my alma mater, Manhattan College, is holding its annual dinner in the Grand Ballroom of the Roosevelt Hotel in New York. Since I can't be there in person, I would like to be there in voice and spirit by singing for the student body and alumni of Manhattan one of our college songs, Manhattan Men. Manhattan Men, see your alma mater beckoning, look once again to the day of joyous reckoning, when she will stand
So green and white, we'll fight with all our might for this victory. Onward, onward, Manhattan men, we must never stop until the banner of our college waves at the very top. Time will make our conquest complete, something for all the world to see. So green and white, we'll fight with all our might for this victory.
Men, do you shave with a lather or brushless shave cream? Palmolive shave cream comes both ways, and whichever method you use, you'll find the new Palmolive shave cream way to shave means more comfortable, actually smoother shaves for 3 men out of every 4. Yes, 3 men out of every 4 get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. The Palmolive shave cream way. It's a fact, men, not a promise. 2,548 men tried the new Palmolive way to shave, and no matter how they shaved before, 79% found beards cut easier, 75% less razor pull, 69% closer shaves, 80% smoother feeling skin, and 3 out of every 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Just get Palmolive shave cream, either brushless or lather, and do this. Wash your face with soap and water. Rinse. Then soap face thoroughly again. Do not rinse. Work Palmolive shave cream upward into beard to get the full benefit of Palmolive shave cream's beard conditioning effect. Then shave. That's all. But remember, Palmolive shave cream, either brushless or lather, offers proof of more comfortable, actually smoother shaves for 3 men out of every 4. Few of us achieve the prominence of a mention in the public press. Our young hero, Dennis Day, made it once when he became the only man in the history of Weaverville Public School to enter the 8th grade under the GI Bill of Rights. But real fame has always eluded him until today. He's just burst open the front door of the Anderson house in a state of wild excitement to come face to face with his astonished girlfriend, Mildred.
Mildred, the evening paper, is it here? My picture's in it, Mildred, my picture.
Your picture?
Yeah, for the Weaverville Safety Campaign, to cut down street accidents. You see, some people cross streets outside of the safety zone, some cross against the lights, some cross diagonally from corner to corner.
But why did they take your picture?
I was the first person to do everything wrong at the same time.
So that's it.
Sure, I'm famous. I've been chosen the pedestrian most likely to decease. Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, yes, I guess so. How long has this safety campaign been going on?
Oh, it started this morning. The mayor began it himself with speeches at the corner of 3rd and Elm from the hospital.
Gee. 2 speeches in one morning?
Well, it was really one speech continued. While he was speaking at the corner of 3rd and Elm, a car hit him.
Well, the paper's right here. Let's see now.
Oh, look, right there on page 1. Read that caption.
Do you wish to visit a cemetery permanently? All you have to do is walk across the street in the criminally careless manner of Dennis Day, 22, whose photo appears above.
That's me.
At first, Mr. Day was believed drunk or crazy, but it was later learned he walks this way all the time.
I'm going to send clippings to all my friends.
Well, they've certainly given you quite... Why, Dennis.
What?
Well, the picture, it isn't your picture at all.
Oh, Mildred, you must be mistaken.
I'm not. Look. Your hair's black, this man's a blonde. You're clean-shaven, he has a mustache. You have a small nose, and he has a great big one. And you're wearing a blue suit. He has on a gray one with a Dewey button in the lapel. Don't you see?
Gee, you're right. It can't be me. I'm a Democrat.
Of course it isn't you. They ran a picture of another man over your story.
Well, that's a fine thing. I nearly get myself killed, and they give someone else credit for it.
Yes, I know how you feel. Well, you were almost famous, Dennis.
Yeah, darn it anyway. I was going to use that picture to start a couple of scrapbooks for our children.
Gee, Do you really think we'll have some someday, Dennis?
Why not? I saw some swell ones for sale at Woolworth's the other day. Well, I'll see you at dinner.
Dinner will be ready as soon as Dennis comes down, Herbert.
Very well, my Theta Barra.
Anything new in the paper tonight?
Well, I see some fella stuffed his wife into a trunk and threw it in the lake.
Oh, my, isn't that awful?
Yeah, it'll probably spoil the fishing for months. Oh, well, that's, Why, great Scott.
What's the matter?
Why, right here on page 18, there's a picture of Dennis Day.
Dennis Day? What's his picture doing in the paper?
Listen to what it says under it. Still missing after 4 years' search, Schuyler Van Rensselaer, heir to the great Van Rensselaer sardine fortune, pictured above, is believed amnesia victim.
You mean... Oh, Herbert, it can't be Dennis Day.
Well, it must be. It's his picture.
Amnesia. So that's it. I knew no one could act like Dennis does and be normal. Oh, that poor, unfortunate, dear, sweet, rich boy.
Gosh, so it isn't our Dennis Day at all. He's Schuyler Van Rensselaer, who was in the fish business.
I knew there was something about that boy.
Really? Well, I've stood very close to him, and I never noticed it.
Read the rest of it, Herbert.
It just says that young Van Rensselaer was born November 17th, 1927. His brother and sister are offering $10,000 reward to anyone successfully aiding him in the recovery of his memory.
10,000? Herbert, we've got to bring back that boy's memory. My maternal instincts have been aroused.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Oh, I hear him coming downstairs.
Now, we've got to be careful how we handle this, Herbert.
Very well, Pupsy.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, is dinner ready yet?
Dennis, I want to talk to you.
To me, Mrs. Anderson?
Yes. Do you know who you are, my boy?
Why, yes, ma'am. Offhand, I'd say I was me.
You're wrong. You're not you at all.
I'm not?
No.
Gee, then who was that bleeding when I cut myself shaving this morning?
Dennis, try to think. Do you remember your father?
Oh, sure. I met him through my mother.
Did he ever discuss with you what you'd be doing in your later life?
Well, let's see. I do remember my father saying he hoped I'd grow up.
Yes?
That's all.
Well, we'll try a new tack. Do you remember where you were born?
Well, Mother told me it was in a small town out west.
Wrong. You were born in New York City.
Oh, well, anyway, it was in 1926.
Wrong again. It was 1927.
In June?
November.
Gee, Mother didn't know much about me, did she?
Herbert, you try.
Yes, Pupsy. Now, Dennis, I want you to concentrate.
Yes, sir. On what?
Sardines.
Yes, sir.
Are you concentrating on sardines?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now tell me, who is your father?
A sardine?
Want it back again, Pupsy?
Yes. Dennis, I want you to think about your family. Your mother and father and your brother and sister.
I have a brother and sister?
Of course.
Gee, and that sneaky doctor never said a word to my mother about it.
Dennis, not only have you a brother and sister, but you have millions and millions of dollars in your own name.
Boy, my next letter home is sure going to be newsy, isn't it?
I give up. No, wait a minute. You know how loss of memory is always cured in the movies, a sudden blow on the head?
Yeah.
Hand me the fire tongs, Herbert.
Pupsy, no, you can't. We're not sure he is Schuyler Van Rensselaer.
So, if he's Dennis Day, have I lost anything?
No, Pupsy, there must be another way.
Yeah, please, Mrs. Anderson. It's none of my business what you do to somebody else's head, but let's not fool with it while I'm wearing it.
We'll continue this day in the life of Dennis Day in just a moment. Meanwhile, here's Dennis to sing his RCA Victor recording of Streets of Laredo.
that day on my way to anywhere. She was wandering through the streets of Laredo. Those adobe walls so old turned to gold I saw there. She smiled at me passing by, and her eyes spent a moment with mine. Then all at once, seems the view took a new kind of shine. Now we never will roam from the streets of Laredo. Never want to lose the spell, for here we fell in love. Aye, aye, aye.
Because of a transposed newspaper photograph, the Andersons are convinced that Dennis Day is really Schuyler Van Rensselaer suffering from amnesia. It's the following morning now, and after a rather trying breakfast, our confused young hero has arrived at his place of work, Don Juan Alvarez Espinosa's antique shop. Sam Jacoby, proprietor.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Jacoby.
Hello, honey boy. Say, what's the matter there? Why are you looking all of a sudden like such a sad satchel?
It's just that I'm all mixed up, Mr. Jacoby. I'm so confused, I don't know where I am.
Oh, for a minute you scared me there. I thought maybe you weren't yourself this morning.
That's just the trouble. Maybe I'm not.
What's this?
I said maybe I'm not myself at all. Maybe I'm somebody else.
Excuse me, could you try it again a little slower? Remember, as far as I'm concerned, you got an accent.
You heard me right, Mr. Jacoby. I said maybe I'm not Dennis Day.
Well, if you ain't Dennis Day, who are you?
Schuyler Van Rensselaer the third.
The third? Who's on first?
Oh, it's nothing to joke about, Mr. Jacoby. I'm supposed to be Schuyler Van Rensselaer the third, the heir to a sardine fortune.
Let me get this straight, honey boy. You just found out you ain't Dennis Day the schnook at all. You're really Schuyler Van Rensselaer, the molted millionaire.
Yeah, isn't it awful?
Well, some days it goes like that, you know.
But Mrs. Anderson says I've got to recover my true identity. She wants me to go to a psychiatrist.
So what good is a foot doctor going to do you?
No, not a foot doctor. One of those fellows who puts you on a couch and explores your mind.
Oh, a pediatrician!
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, my wife's got a beauty. He's been exploring her brain for 6 months now and hasn't found a thing. I'll call Dr. Hopkins, right?
Gee, that's swell, Mr. Jacoby. And if I really turn out to be Schuyler Van Rensselaer, well, I promise you'll be up to your ears in sardines.
Come in, my boy. Come right in. So you're the young man who thinks he's Dennis Day. That's your trouble, is it?
Yes, sir, and I've got it bad.
Yes. Well, we'll soon have you all straightened out. Now, suppose we get a little of your background right back to your infancy.
Yes, sir. Boy.
Yes, I know. Was there anything unusual or odd about your babyhood?
Well, half the time I couldn't see.
Couldn't see?
That's right. It was on account of my mother being so nearsighted.
Oh, heredity, huh?
No, sir. It was just that half the time she put the rubber pants on the wrong end of me.
I see. Perhaps we should take a somewhat later age. Say about the time you first became aware of girls.
I beg your pardon?
You realize there is an age at which young men become acutely aware of girls, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir, and I can hardly wait.
Obviously schizophrenic.
Again, I would like to beg it.
Schizophrenic. Split personality.
Oh.
You have submerged your true character, hard-drinking, woman-chasing Van Rensselaer, beneath the assumed character of Dennis Day, who is just the opposite. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, sir. It's just that I don't know what you're talking about.
In other words, your amnesia is caused by an inner revulsion to your true self.
Ooh.
I can confirm my findings with a very simple test. Have you ever heard of word associations?
Oh, no, sir. But if they're anything like pyramid clubs, count me out.
I'm referring to a psychopathological test. Or to try and put it more understandably, neurasthenic.
You missed.
Well, in any event, I'll give you a word. Now, you're to tell me the word you associate with it. Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Black.
Black.
Black? I thought you'd say white.
Oh, we just met, Doctor. I don't want to start an argument with you.
It isn't an argument. It's a test. If I said boy, you'd say girl. Now, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Chair.
Thanks, but I've already got one.
Chair is the word. You're supposed to say table. What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
I'll try it again, son.
Okay, try it again.
I am trying it again. Please listen, son.
I am listening, Pop.
Son is the word I gave you. You're supposed to tell me the word it makes you think of.
Oh, moon.
You finally understand what I mean. Are you ready now?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Bad.
That isn't the word!
I'm so sorry.
I'll give you the word now. Table.
Pat Sullivan.
What has Pat Sullivan to do with table?
Oh, he's a fellow I used to know. He was always under it.
Well, so much for word association.
Yes, sir.
In fact, for tests of all kinds. Young man, there's only one practical treatment for your condition. Hypnosis.
Hypnosis?
Yes. If you will permit me to put you into an induced hypnotic trance, as distinguished from the one you're in now, I believe I can reactivate your subconscious and restore your identity.
You mean you're going to hypnotize me?
Exactly, if you'll permit it.
Well, there is a fortune waiting for me, I hear. Go ahead.
Very well. Now look deep into my eyes.
Yes, sir.
That's it. You're getting drowsy. Your senses are becoming numb. You're falling asleep. Asleep. Sleep.
Hey, Doc, wake up.
Huh? Pardon me. Sometimes it goes into reverse. Look into my eyes again.
Yes, sir.
Deep into my eyes. You're growing drowsy. Languorous. That's it. You're falling asleep. Sleep. Sleep. You're now in a hypnotic state. Listen to me. You are not Dennis Day.
I am not Dennis Day.
Your name is Schuyler Van Rensselaer.
My name is Schuyler Van Rensselaer.
You are... You're a playboy, mad about women.
I'm a playboy, mad about women.
You like to take a drink now and then. When you awaken, you will go home, but remember nothing of Dennis Day. You will be Schuyler Van Rensselaer, the playboy. And now, awaken.
$5 and still no sign of him, Pupsy. Are you sure the boy's all right?
Of course he's all right, Herbert. Mr. Jacoby told me on the phone he'd send him to Dr. Hopkins, the psychiatrist.
And you really think he'll come back here thinking he's Schuyler Van Rensselaer?
I do.
Well, if I know Dennis, there's a much better chance that Dr. Hopkins will go back to Vienna thinking he's Dennis Day.
Oh, you're always fine.
Oh, that may be he. I'll go. Dennis.
The name is Schuyler, Shorty. Who are you?
Why, don't you know me? I'm Herbert Anderson.
Glad to meet you, Herbie. Is that all there is of you, or are you standing in a manhole?
My goodness gracious.
Oh, there you are, Dennis. You're back.
Hey, who's this character, Shorty? Your mother?
What?
Skip it, babe.
Babe? Why, you never called me anything but Mrs. Anderson in your life.
Well, don't crowd your luck.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, how's about a little drink, hey?
A drink? Of what?
Oh, who cares? I'm Schuyler Van Rensselaer, 5602 North Elm Street, and I've switched everything. Give me some Kentucky Tavern and leave the roof on.
Oh, my soul and body.
Mother, have you heard of it? Oh, there you are.
Well, hiya, baby. Let's neck. Come on, get your coat, kid. We'll go for a drive in the park.
I don't want to drive in the park.
Hey, look, babe, with me, you not only get to drive in the park, you get to park in the drive.
Mother, what's come over Dennis? Why, he's become a terrible ladies' man.
Yes, sir. All I need now is a terrible lady. Hey, what do you say? I'll even take you up for a little spin in my private plane.
You will not.
Don't be jealous, Fatso. Tell you what. I tell you what. You get on your broom and we'll have a race, huh?
How could you be so awful? You ought to be ashamed.
Now, don't race your motor, Toots. I'm feeling give-in-y if you're feeling give-outy.
Oh, you thief! Take this!
What? Oh, Mildred. Mrs. Anderson. What? Where am I?
Uh-oh. I think the enchanted hour is over.
Why, you're home, Dennis. What on earth happened to you?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. The last I remember, I was in Dr. Hopkins' office. He hypnotized me.
Hypnotized you? Then you're not Schuyler Van Rensselaer?
Oh, please don't start that again. I'm Dennis Day, Mrs. Anderson. Honest, I am. Mildred, did I act funny?
I should say you did, and the things you had nerve enough to say to my mother.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going down to that doctor's office right now and tell him off plenty.
And I'm going with you, Dennis.
Are you going to tell him off too, Mr. Anderson?
No, sir. I'm going down for a treatment.
And now, here is a very important announcement.
Want to win $49,000 in cash? That's right, $49,000 in cash. The first prize offered by the makers of Palmolive soap in their big, exciting 49 Gold Rush contest.
Second prize, $4,900. And there are 4,949 other cash prizes.
What a chance to win $100,000 in cash prizes, and it's easy to enter. Simply finish this sentence, I like Palmolive soap because, in 25 words or less. That's all. Just 25 words or less to finish the sentence, I like Palmolive soap because. Then mail your entry right away with a Palmolive soap wrapper. Easy, isn't it?
And remember, thousands will strike it rich in the big 49 Gold Rush contest. Enter as often as you like. Get entry blanks and complete rules from your dealer, or send your entries on plain paper with your name and address and dealer's name and address, plus one Palmolive wrapper for each entry. Mail to Gold Rush Contest, Box 49, New York 8, New York. Better write that down. Gold Rush Contest, Box 49, New York 8, New York.
Get Palmolive soap right away to help win a lovelier complexion and try for your share of the $100,000 in cash prizes. With the music of Charles Dant and the orchestra, here's Dennis to sing the popular ballad, So in Love.
Strange dear, but true dear, when I'm close to you, dear, the stars fill the sky, so in love with you am I. Even
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you Kay Dumit's magic blend. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Yes, tonight, you can be a dream girl, beautiful Luster Cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a Luster Cream shampoo.
Listen again next week for Colgate's Hour of Fun. Judy Canova, followed by Dennis Day. And for another great comedy program, hear Blondie next Wednesday evening over your favorite NBC station. This is Vern Smith speaking. Good night.
Dennis Day really was an all-around entertainer. Good actor, good impressionist, and wonderful singer. Day in the life of Dennis Day, 76 years ago, February 19th, 1949, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up on our next show, we're going to have a half hour of Blum and Abner from their 1949 show. This episode, they're raising money to go to the convention in Leavenworth. And of course, Leavenworth, that'll become a running gag in that show. Louise Erickson in an episode of A Date with Judy. And while it was always a fun show, the guest star is what makes this one, Frank Sinatra. Jack Benny in an episode from 81 years ago with his guest Groucho Marx from 1944. This also from 1949, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, as they have a dinner invitation, if they can just remember who it's from. And we'll wrap it all up with another episode of Superman and the Ghost Car. That'll be coming up on our Thursday episode. On Friday, we'll have an episode of Sherlock Holmes, an episode of Dragnet, Dr. Christian starring Gene Hirschhold, and an episode of Suspense, and the Hollywood Hostages. And let's see, that takes us to Friday. This is... this is Wednesday, this is Thursday, Friday, this Saturday. I'm losing track. We'll have another episode of Dragnet. Big Town, Suspense, Counter Spy, and then Sunday we'll get back to, Frontier, we'll have Westerns. Frontier Gentleman, Gunsmoke, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, and the All-Star Western Theater. We'll get back to comedies on Monday with My Friend Irma, Jack Benny and the Fiddler, and You Bet Your Life, and an episode of Abbott and Costello, and yes, another Sam Shovel mystery. That's all coming up this week ahead on Classic Radio Theater. But right now, coming up in just a moment, we'll have an episode of Bob Hope.
Whenever you drive the car, there is always an unseen, unwelcome passenger with you. That passenger is danger. The danger of a traffic accident. Unfortunately, every person seems to have the absurd notion that he bears a charmed life, that no traffic accident can happen to him. But it can, and too often it does. So when you're behind that wheel, don't take chances. Obey all traffic rules. Drive safely for life, your life, and the lives of us.
The Classic Radio Theater podcast continues now as we go to 1952, 73 years ago, an episode of The Bob Hope Show with his guest, Tyrone Power.
Sound off! Sound off! Sound off for Chesterfield. Good evening, folks. A big hello. We're here to start the Bob Hope Show. To get your kicks, enjoy the fun. Light up a Chesterfield, everyone. Sound off for Chesterfield. Sound off for Chesterfield. Try a pack of Chesterfields. Do it today.
Chesterfield presents The Bob Hope Show, transcribed direct from Hollywood, with Les Brown and his band of renown. For Chesterfield's yours truly, High Averback. Our special guests, Tyrone Power and Marilyn Maxwell. And here he is, Bob Hope.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am back in Hollywood for Chesterfield's, and it's good to be home.
I've been doing so much traveling around the country that my kids don't recognize me anymore. This morning when I got home, I kissed my little girl Linda, and she said, "Mommy, here's another presidential candidate." But I got back in Hollywood just in time to see the unveiling of the new 1952 cars. I won't say the 52 cars are expensive, but the only way you can afford the new one is to use the old one for a getaway car. And the engineers are experimenting with an entirely new type of car. It's called a Harry Truman. No one knows if it'll run. And the weather has affected automobile design. I saw one model called the California Convertible. You press a button, it opens up into a canoe. Thank you, floaters. And some of the war orders must have gotten mixed up with the new cars. One guy ordered a Cadillac, and it arrived with a 16-inch gun mounted on the hood. Somewhere in the Pacific, there's an aircraft carrier with 4 white wall tires. But television is doing a great job selling cars. Why shouldn't it? It's done a great job selling radios. I was watching a silent movie the other night, and when the used car commercial came on, they were trying to sell the same car as the one in the picture. The television becoming a very powerful advertising medium. Yesterday afternoon, a jewelry store advertised a sale on diamond bracelets, and within 2 hours, it was held up. And new houses are going to have television in every room. In every room. Won't that be wonderful? If you don't like Crosby, you can throw a bath towel over him. But it can lead to a certain amount of confusion. One woman got so interested watching young Dr. Malone, she sterilized the can opener and took out the turkey's appendix. And another item that made news was the development of high-frequency television, which will make it possible to open new stations all over the country. They haven't got room to put the movies on the regular channels, so they may assign them to a high-frequency band. A high-frequency band is a series of oscillatory impulses causing a convolution of electrons to supercharge an ionic cyclotron impulsivating a nuclear centrifugal action on a predetermined paniotropic isotope. There's more. Briefly, that means I fired that writer. They're also experimenting with telecasting new movies. I sat for 2 hours the other night and watched Quo Vadis on a 3-inch screen. It was an enjoyable experience. And besides, it's fun to have both your eyeballs looking out of the same socket.
Now, a voice well known to millions. Westbrook Van Voorhees.
In a recent decision, the Federal Trade Commission says of Brand X cigarettes that the use of diethylene glycol as a hygroscopic agent in the manufacture of X brand of cigarettes does not render such cigarettes non-irritating or less irritating than other leading brands of cigarettes using hygroscopic agents other than diethylene glycol.
If the Federal Trade decision has made you wonder about the contents of your cigarette, you can be glad if you're smoking Chesterfield.
Chesterfield gives you scientific facts and names its ingredients. Chesterfield uses tobaccos pre-tested by laboratory instruments for the most desirable smoking qualities and kept tasty and fresh by the only tried and tested hygroscopic agents proven by over 40 years of continuous use in USA tobacco products as entirely safe for use in the mouth. Pure natural sugars and chemically pure harmless glycerol. Nothing else. Chesterfield has the newest and most modern research laboratories and factories staffed by experts. Outside independent consultants include many eminent scientists from leading universities.
Chesterfield has, for your smoking pleasure and protection, every advantage known to modern science. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the workmen have finally finished remodeling Bob's home, and he's moved back in. Now, one of the first things he had to do was make a complete inventory for the insurance company. So let's go back to yesterday morning when Bob and I were hard at work making up the list. One reading lamp.
One reading lamp.
One end table.
One end table. Say, isn't this pretty guest room high? Gee, if these walls could talk, you have no idea how many celebrities have stayed overnight in this room.
One comb. One brush. A 1-pint bottle of hair tonic.
Oh, yes, Mario Alonzo likes to use that tonic on his hair.
1 box of Figaro.
That's what Crosby uses on his. He won't give up.
1 ashtray.
1 ashtray.
1 bowler hat. Bowler hat?
Yeah, Churchill was here the same time Crosby was.
Oh, well, why is the brim of his hat all chewed up?
Well, Churchill was a little nervous. Bing didn't want to approve the loan. Let's list those books on the shelf high. Read the titles to me.
Okay, The Loves of Casanova.
Loves of Casanova.
Yoo-hoo, anybody home?
Well, sounds like Marilyn Maxwell. Yeah. Well, hello, Marilyn.
Hello, fellas.
Go ahead, High.
Okay, Just We Two.
Just We Two.
From Here to Eternity.
From Here to Eternity.
Let's Build a Dream House of Love.
Where are you boys going on your honeymoon?
Marilyn, we're taking an inventory and we're listing the books and things. You can help if you want to. Start with that trophy case over there.
Okay. Gee, Bob, you've certainly got a lot of souvenirs and trophies here.
Hey, what's this baseball with 1949 written on it?
Well, I keep that to remind me of the date. That's the year my brother George got me to invest in the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, was it your brother George who got you to buy into the Cleveland Indians?
Yeah.
Gee, Bob, what a weird souvenir this is. Where did you get this shrunken head?
That's my brother George. Now we'll take inventory in my room, High. Be right back, Marilyn. We'll start with the wardrobe closet. 1 gray suit.
1 gray suit.
2 dead moths.
2 dead moths.
1 live moth. We got a new sound man, and he's so eager. Wait a minute. Where'd this suit come from, High? I don't have a powder blue gabardine.
Well, the cleaning man just delivered it, Bob.
Well, he made a mistake. This isn't my suit. It belongs to somebody else.
Well, look at the label. Oh, you're right, Bob. It says, tailored expressly for Tyrone Power.
Tyrone Power? Hey, that's a sharp sack, isn't it? I think I'll try it on. Maybe it'll make me look like him. I'll just slip off my trousers. There. Turn your back, please. There. Now I'll slip into these. Fasten the belt. Now the jacket. I'll just button this middle button. There. Hey, how about it, High? Well, High, say something.
It looked more like Tyrone Power when it was on the hanger.
But you're right. This suit doesn't belong to me. It was delivered here by mistake. It belongs to Tyrone Power. He must have my suit. I wonder if Ty will notice the difference.
Oh, Parkins.
Yes, Mr. Power.
I have to get dressed, Parkins. What's holding things up?
Oh, the cleaning man brought you someone else's suit, sir. Look, this is the one he left here.
That's the suit he left?
Yes, sir. If I may say so, who would wear a thing like that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a circus in town. Wait. I'll look at the label and see where this comes from. What a strange place to buy a suit.
What does it say, sir?
Civil War Veterans Rummage Sale.
It's a very strange garment, sir. What material would you say it's made of? Unfinished worsted?
Oh, it looks more like reconditioned pup tent. There's no name on the label. Parkins, how can we find out who this suit belongs to?
Well, sir, let's reason it out the Sherlock Holmes way. Let's just ask ourselves who would be a big enough idiot to wear a silly, jackass outfit like that.
Why, of course, Parkins.
Oh, yes.
Why didn't we think of that before? What's Bob Hope's phone number? Or maybe I'd better take it over to Bob's house myself.
Oh, I'm afraid you'll have to wear it, sir. All your other clothes are still at the cleaners.
I suppose I could sneak through the alleys. Help me into it. Well, these mix-ups sometimes happen, Bob.
Yeah, I'm glad we got it straightened out, Ty. I think I look pretty good in your suit. How do you like wearing mine? Did you notice I've got it fixed so when you pass a pretty girl, the buttons light up?
Yeah. I guess I shouldn't have gone by that Jane Russell billboard. The wiring blew a fuse and melted my garters.
I know what you mean. I met Dagmar on the street one day, and I blotted out all the television programs this side of Denver. Anyway, I like this suit of yours, Ty. Marilyn here tells me it looks very well on me.
Oh, it does, Bob. Why don't you get the name of Tyrone's tailor?
Oh, I've got a swell idea. Listen, Ty, if you'll get your tailor to make a suit for me, I'll get my tailor to make a suit for you. What do you say?
I don't like the odds.
By the way, how much do your suits cost?
Oh, they're fairly reasonable, Bob. My man makes them for $250 and up.
Well, that's pretty expensive. My tailor makes my suits for $47.50. The only reason he can make them that cheap is that I happen to use the same pattern as Cass Daly. But, Ty, Marilyn and I were about to rehearse our song for the radio show. Why don't you stick around?
Swell, Bob. I'd like to hear it.
Okay, let's go, Marilyn.
I wish I was a clinging, swinging vine. I wish I was a clinging, swinging vine. If I was a clinging, swinging vine, I'd cling right to that man of mine.
She wishes that she was a clinging vine. Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, tell you what she'd like to be. Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, that's the dream she dreams she wants to be.
I wish I was Maureen O'Hara's cat. I wish I was Maureen O'Hara's cat. Then every time she stroked my fur, I'd just stand there and purr and purr.
She'd like to be Maureen O'Hara's cat. Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, tell you what he'd like to be. Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, that's the dream he dreams he wants to be.
Come on and join the party, Ty.
I wish I was a little orange tree. I wish I was a little orange tree. On freezing nights, how warm I'd be, they'd shove a smudge pot under me.
A little orange tree.
I wish I didn't look like Errol Flynn. Don't you think I look like Errol Flynn?
You may have Errol's manly chin, but your nose look like the shrimp boat's in.
They look like Errol Flynn. Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, tell you what he'd like to be. Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, that's the dream he dreams he wants to be.
I'd like to be as popular as Bob.
Here.
But I'll never be as popular as Bob.
Well, you can't have power and everything.
Why, Bob's a man that girls forget.
I know, but he hasn't paid me yet.
Da-da-dee-da, da-dee-da-dee-da-dum. I wish I was a moonbeam in the sky. I wish I was a moonbeam in the sky.
If I was a moonbeam in the sky, I'd spit right down in Crosby's eye.
I wish I was a moonbeam in the sky. Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, tell you what I'd like to be. Hi-ho, fiddly-dee, that's the dream I want to be. That's the dream I want to be.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as a result of the mix-ups and suits, Tyrone Power stayed to dinner at Bob's house. We now find Bob and Ty in the living room having an after-dinner chat.
So you see, Bob, when I was lucky enough to bag a Bengal tiger, I was glad I joined the African Explorers Club. Do you happen to belong, Bob?
No, I don't, Ty, no.
Or do you belong to the International Big Game Hunters?
Well, no, but I am a member of a very exciting club.
Oh, what club is that?
The Upper Glendale Crocheting and Yummy Yogurt Society. Very exciting, I swear.
No, you're always kidding, Bob. But, I'm glad I got this chance to talk to you alone. I've been wanting to ask you something for a long time.
Well, was it, Ty?
It's a little personal. You're sure you won't mind?
No, Ty, not at all. What is it?
Tell me, Bob, where did you learn the wonderful technique you have that gets all the beautiful women?
Me?
Yes.
Are you sure we both got the same script?
No, I'm serious, Bob. It's all over town. Wherever lovely women gather, you're the one they talk about. Now, don't tell me you didn't know.
Well, actually...
I guess I'm embarrassing you. I can see you're the type of man who doesn't like to brag about himself.
Yes, but force me.
Bob, I don't know why you're being so modest. You're the number one boy with the women. I hear your name is written in kisses on the wall of the powder room at Ciro's.
Yeah. How did you find out? That's what I want to...
I heard.
Oh, I hear, yeah. Well, that's probably that group of Ziegfeld Follies girls.
Well, then you'll agree, Bob. When it comes to women, you've got more on the ball than I have.
Well, if you insist.
Now, that's what I told the committee. I told them that you'd be much more capable of judging the beauty contest than I. You won't mind taking my place, will you?
Judging a beauty contest? Oh, I'd be glad to.
Swell. A car will pick you up tomorrow afternoon, and I'm off the hook. Well, good night, Bob.
Oh, good night, Ty. Hey, by the way, do you know any of the gorgeous babes in the beauty contest?
What gorgeous babes? It's a contest to pick the shapeliest grandmother over 80. Good night, Bob.
How do you like that guy? All those compliments were just a sneaky way to get out of something he didn't want to do. Oh, well, I'm tired. I think I'll stretch out on the sofa here and take a little nap. Him and his contest. I can tell him who the shapeliest grandmother is right now. But why should I give Arthur Godfrey free publicity? Ooh, I'm tired. That Tyrone Power is just jealous because I look better in his suit than he does. What does he know about style? On my suit, he couldn't even find the place where you blow up the shoulders. If I'd spent as much time in Europe as he has, I could be a continental lover just like Tyrone.
Mr. Power! Mr. Power!
Huh? What?
Wake up, Mr. Power. Your breakfast is ready.
Mr. Power? Oh, am I Tyrone Power?
Why, of course you are, sir. Are you sure you didn't have too many pink champagnes at the Countess's reception last night?
Oh, yes, it all comes back to me now. I am Tyrone Power, the greatest continental lover in Europe. What's for breakfast, Parkins?
Caviar, truffles, poached swan eggs Benedict, Chinese pheasant holding a strawberry in its beak, and frog legs sandpapered smooth and served on tiptoe.
Gad, every day the same thing. And Parkins, what's wrong with this coffee? It doesn't taste right.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I had to make it with water. We were all out of champagne.
How can you be such a peasant? I sometimes despair that you... Oh, come in.
Ah, there you are, Tyrone. Kiss me, my darling. Oh, I love you. I love you.
I love you too, my sweet.
Just the thought of you starts a flame burning inside of me.
Yes, darling, you're all I live for. Kiss me.
Oh, farewell until later.
Who was that, sir?
I was hoping you knew. Any mail, Parkins?
Tons of it, sir, from your admirers.
Well, I keep searching because I know someday I'll find my dream girl. She must have the dainty feet of Pierre Angela, the legs of Marlene Dietrich, the eyes of Jean Tierney, and the lips of Hedy Lamarr.
What progress have you made, sir?
Well, so far I've got the shoes of Marjorie Main. But let's get to the mail. Ah, here's an interesting envelope written in lavender ink. Well, let's see what it says. I can't go on without you. Meet me tonight at the Continental Cafe. I'll be the blonde wearing the white gown with green sequins in my hair.
Is it signed Anxious?
No, but it's signed Taft, and that's the same thing. Ah, the intrigue of a new romance. Lay out my best evening suit, Parkins. The powder blue gabardine. Tonight, I live. Ah, there you are, my mystery girl.
So, sweetheart, we have found each other.
Yes, it was easy. You're the only one here with green sequins in her hair. How did you find me?
Oh, you are the only one here with red sequins in your hair.
I have to wear those red sequins. I don't have a taillight on my bicycle. You're ravishing, my dear. What is your name?
Oh, I have so many names. I am the Countess Maria Fuscelli, Angelina Sheila, Moritz, Rita, Gloriana Consuela, Florentia, Marlene de Meur. Which one do you like the best?
I don't know. It all looks so good.
You know, Tyrone, I'm very rich. Make me your favorite and I'll build you a mansion.
Oh, no thanks.
I'll give you expensive racing cars. Shower you with precious jewels.
Oh, no thanks.
But it must be something you want.
Well, I could use a taillight for my bicycle. Shall we dance?
Oh, I would love to, but look, the floor show is about to commence.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Cafe Continental has a wonderful surprise for you. For the first time on the Riviera, we present the famous American comedian, Bob Hope.
Oh, thanks for the memory. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. I thank you so much.
I don't like the tune, but it's got swell words.
Quiet, they tell me he's very funny.
How do you do, everybody? This is Bob by and by the Carton Hope, saying, pardon me if I strut. I can't keep my mouth shut because about Chesterfield, I'm really nuts. I smoke them down as far as I can and then wash and iron the butts. Yeah.
First time I ever laid an egg with someone else's layer.
If you think that's funny, listen to this one. I was walking down the street, and a tramp came up to me. He said, "Mister, I haven't had a bite for 2 days." So I bit him. As the farmer said to the cow, I'm really pulling them.
Boy, if I sound like that, I'll throw myself off the highest cliff on Sidney Green Street.
Well, that's the end of my routine, folks. As the baby bear said when it sat down on the cake of ice, my tale is told.
What material? Milton Berle wouldn't touch that stuff with a 10-foot air wick.
I think this Bob Hoops is cute, and I'm going to dance with him.
Hey, come back here.
Oh, Mr. Hoops, you're so interesting, and you dance very well, too. Will you dance with me again?
Sure I will, babe, as long as you keep putting quarters in the meter.
Pardon me, Countess. Could I have the honor of cutting in?
Why, of course, Tyrone.
Well, here we go.
Oh, Tyrone, you're the best dancer I've ever danced with. You're so wonderful at the waltz, the rumba, the samba, and the tango. What a dancer.
Thank you.
Say, by the way, what are those things sticking out of your sleeves?
Arthur Murray's hands. He's in the suit with me. Ah, Countess, you're lovely tonight.
Okay, I'm cutting in. Bobsy Boy is back.
Out of the way, peasant, or I'll run you through with my sword. And everyone knows that I, Tyrone, am the greatest swordsman in Europe. On guard.
But I ain't got a sword.
I have a weapon in my purse. Here, take this ruby-handled dagger.
Okay. Ha-ha! Touché.
Oh, he got me.
Oh, Tyrone, can I ease the pain? Turn over and I pull a dagger out of your back.
No, leave it there. I want the ruby handle sticking out of my back.
But why?
This way I won't have to buy a taillight for my bicycle. Oh, thanks for the memory of the UN's fight for peace. We know they'll never cease till they guarantee a world that's free and sign a long-term lease. And we thank them so much. That about wraps it up for tonight. Want to thank Tyrone Power for a fine performance. Love the way he did those monologue jokes. I should have let him handle the first monologue, don't you think? Huh? Also thank Marilyn Maxwell. Fine show. And remember, folks, to sound off for Chesterfield, and do it today. For the first time, you'll get the cigarette that's much milder with the added protection of no unpleasant aftertaste.
Remember, that added protection, no unpleasant aftertaste, is confirmed by a leading research organization. Next week, Chesterfield presents the annual Look Achievement Award winners in a special Bob Hope Show with Danny Thomas, Vivian Lee, Mitzi Gaynor, Sam Goldwyn, George Stevens, Arthur Freed, Eddie Mayhoff, Bob O'Donnell, and others. That's next Tuesday at the same time on the Bob Hope Show. Tonight's appearance of Tyrone Power was made possible through 20th Century Fox Studios, whose current release is Phone Call from a Stranger, starring Shelley Winters, Gary Merrill, and Betty Davis. Be sure to listen to The Bob Hope Show next week, featuring the annual Look Achievement Award winners. The Bob Hope Show was written by Norman Sullivan, Marvin Fisher, and Larry Klein, and transcribed in Hollywood.
Tyrone Power with Bob Hope on that episode of the Bob Hope Show 73 years ago, February 19th, 1952, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream if you want to support the show. Tyrone Power had such a very troubled life. He had conflicts between wanting to be a film star and wanting to be a great actor. Took a lot of roles he really didn't want to, and he was very, very. He had his issues at the time, and it was he was a chain smoker, heart disease, and that's what led to his heart attack in 1958, where he. And ironically, while filming a dueling scene with George Sanders, and that was just it weren't good. He passed away November 15th, 1958, and he was just 44 years of age. That's so sad. Alrighty, but as you can tell, he was a good enough actor that he could do some really good comedy there. George Burns and Gracie Allen coming up next here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
This is Peter Halas. As senior editor of the Hungarian desk at Radio Free Europe, I write and edit material destined for an audience still living behind barbed wire. I know those people, for I was one of them. I escaped to freedom in 1956, but there are millions still in captivity. Radio Free Europe keeps them in touch with the world outside. Keep RFE on the air with contributions to Crusade for Freedom.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues with an episode of the George Burns Gracie Allen Show. This goes back 77 years to February 19th, 1948.
Another cup of Maxwell House coffee, George?
Sure. Pour me a cup, Gracie.
You know, Maxwell House is always good to the last drop.
And that drop's good, too.
Yes, it's Maxwell House coffee time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Elliot Lewis, Hans Conried, Meredith Wilson and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie. And for America's everyday coffee drinking enjoyment, it's Maxwell House. Always good to the last drop.
Well, as we look in at the Burns home today, we find George glancing through the afternoon newspaper.
Say, look at this. Meat prices are still dropping. Pork is down, beef is down.
Oh, yeah, but you don't have to worry, darling. You're married to a pretty smart little girl.
What do you mean?
Well, I saw this thing coming 10 days ago, so I stocked up before it happened.
Gracie, you didn't.
Yes, I did. They don't catch me napping. Let the meat keep on going down. We're set. I've got enough in our icebox to last us a month. Now, I got it right at the peak.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, sir. You gotta get up early in the morning to stop little Gracie.
Now she tells me. Look, Gracie.
And you know something
What?
I found out, George? Businessmen respect a shrewd buyer. Now, this morning, Mr. Jones, the butcher, took me aside and he said, look, Mrs. Burns, steak is still dropping, but any time you want it at the old price, it's okay.
This is murder.
Well,
Murder.
George, you don't sound very appreciative after all the money I saved you.
How do you figure you saved me money?
Oh, now, really, dear, surely you can add and subtract. Now, look, I spent $50 on meat.
Yeah.
I put it in our icebox.
Yeah.
Today, that meat is worth $30. Now, how much is 30 from 50?
20.
Well, what's that, hey?
But you didn't save 20. You lost 20.
Oh, Judge, pay attention. Now I'll explain it
I'll
again.
explain it to you. Now, listen. 10 days ago, you spent $50 for meat. Today, you could buy the same meat for $30. Now, did you make money or lose it?
Oh, my, you're handsome today.
Don't change the subject.
I've never seen you look better.
Now, Gracie.
Compared to you, I'm a dog.
Don't think you could flatter your way out of this, young lady. Now, listen to me. I put up with your
Oh,
silly...
no, George, please. You mustn't get excited. Remember your appendix.
Appendix? Had my appendix out 10 years ago.
I know. Remember?
Well, there's no use talking to you. I'll see you later. Can't you do something for her, Dr. Miller? She'll drive me crazy.
Well, George, I started to psychoanalyze Gracie, but she called it off. Said she was afraid people might think there was something wrong with her.
I see.
Too bad, too. She told me some absolutely fascinating stories about her childhood. Did you know that at the age of 4, she played Haydn and Chopin?
Haydn and Chopin? That's amazing.
That's what I said until she explained it. That's a game where if you caught Haydn and show your pan, you're it.
Haydn and Chopin. Might have known.
You know, George, this buying meat at high prices might have been influenced by her father. She told me how he failed in the meat business.
What happened?
Well, you know how some butchers put their thumb on the scale?
Yeah.
Gracie's father used to sit on the scale and hold the meat in his lap.
What a family.
Some very peculiar things happened to her parents.
I know. I married one of them. Do you think you can help her, Doctor?
Well, I can, George, if you can get her over here. Let's see. Does Gracie dream much?
Quite a bit.
That'll be the excuse. Tell her to come over and have me interpret her dreams. When I get through interpreting them, she'll be all straightened out.
Wonderful. And above all, tell her that she must never make a decision.
Leave it to me.
Doc, I don't know how to thank you. Here, let me pay you something.
Oh, George, please put away that checkbook. I'm your neighbor. I know you too well to accept a check.
Well... Well, thanks, Doc.
Pay me in cash.
I thought so.
go, dear?
Oh, just out for a little fresh air. Say, Gracie, been having any dreams lately?
Oh, yes, I have, George, and such silly ones. I worry about what happens to my mind at night.
And I'm on the day shift.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh.
Tell me about the dreams you had.
Well, last night I had a real nightmare. I dreamt I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard with no clothes on. All I was wearing was a hat. Oh, was I embarrassed.
Well, I'll bet you were.
Sure, it was last year's hat.
Why don't you run over and tell your dream to Dr. Miller?
Oh, George.
That man will interpret it for you.
Nah, I wouldn't tell him a dream like that.
Well, you don't have to tell him you had it. Tell him it was someone else's.
Oh, but it's such a silly dream.
We all have silly dreams. Look at me. Last night I dreamt that I won a golf match with a one-legged kangaroo.
Oh, that is silly.
Well, sure.
Oh, imagine you winning a golf match.
Yeah. Now, run over and talk to Dr. Miller.
Well, all right. It would be fun to know what dreams mean.
Sure, I'll see you later. Hello, Doctor. This is George. It worked. Gracie is on her way over to tell you her dreams. Yeah. Now, she'll pretend it isn't hers, but it is. Anyway, you know what to tell her. And pour it on.
That's right, Gracie. Just relax and tell me your dream.
Oh, this isn't my dream, Doctor.
Oh, sure. I understand. We'll just say it's the dream of a certain party, huh? Now, what was the dream?
Well, this certain party was playing golf with a one-legged kangaroo.
Golf with a one-legged kangaroo. Very revealing.
Really?
Oh, definitely. Gracie, the person who had that dream has the mind of a child.
Oh, Doctor, you're wrong.
No, wait. The person who had that dream also looks as young as a child.
Oh, boy, are you wrong.
But the person who had that dream is married to someone who is very wise and clever.
Well, that's funny. Now you're right.
And I'm right in the other things, too, Gracie. The person who had that dream should never make a decision.
Really, Doctor?
Absolutely. Any decision that person makes is sure to be wrong.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. I promise you that person will never make another decision.
Come in.
Howdy, little man.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Say, I just got back from a ranch in Texas, and I'm a mite dusty. Could I run your vacuum cleaner over my suit?
Vacuum cleaner? Wouldn't it be easier to brush it off?
This is Texas dust. I want to save it.
I see.
Yeah, I like to put it on my face after shaving.
Like talcum powder?
Yeah, only this is softer.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it smells better,
It smells better,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get out the Hoover.
Wait a minute. Your vacuum cleaner is a Hoover?
Yeah.
Then let it go. Texas is a Democratic state.
Suit yourself, Mr. Judson.
Yeah. Now, the reason I hurried over here direct from the train was to give you a chance to make some money.
How?
Well, I got a few cattle down home, and right now they're selling at bottom price, $50 a head. Now, you buy them today, and tomorrow you'll double your money.
Well, I said...
Well, naturally, I couldn't sell you my whole herd, but I could let you have a couple of million head.
Well, I might take 100 head. How do I buy the cattle?
Well, you just pick up the telephone and call Dallas, Texas. The number is Ecstasy 2400. That's my office.
Yes.
If it don't answer, call my ranch, Paradise 2400. Tell them who you are, and I said to let you have 100 head at bottom price.
Well, thanks a million.
Yeah, well, now you do it right away. Tomorrow, them steers will be put on the train for Chicago.
To the slaughterhouse, huh?
Yeah. They don't slaughter Texas cattle, though. They don't have to.
Why not?
Well, when them steers step off the train and see they ain't in Texas, they die of a broken heart. Well, so long, little man.
Thanks again, Mr. Judson, and goodbye.
Mr. Judson, Mr. Judson.
Yeah? Why, little lady, what you doing hiding here behind this bush?
Well, I have to keep an eye on my husband.
At his age?
Oh, absolutely. He's got the mind of a child. Tell me, while you were talking to him, did he make any decisions?
What? Yeah. As a matter of fact, he did. He decided to call Dallas and buy 100 head of steers at $50 a head.
$50 for one head? Oh, that's ridiculous.
What? But, ma'am, that's the bottom price.
Well, it's all right for a bottom price. That's the end with the meat on it.
That's the end with the...
Oh, I like your sense of humor, man.
You know, Meredith, those grand songs carry me back to my high school proms.
Well, Toby, they first hit the music racks 20 years ago. Today, they're still going strong.
And what do you think explains this great popularity year after year?
It hangs on many things all combined, not just one. I'll show you, Toby. Here's another big hit of 20 years ago. But what does it mean to you when we play only the mellow harmony? Or now, when we add a rich counter melody.
Well, it means fine music, Meredith, but is that really a hit tune?
Well, listen while we add the vigorous rhythm section. Okay, and now we'll round out this number with the melody. And you'll recognize one of the most popular American songs ever written.
Well, of course, Moonlight and Roses. And friends, just as America's favorite songs require the careful blending of many orchestral parts, so too with the creation of America's favorite brand of coffee, Maxwell House. The satisfying, good to the last drop flavor of Maxwell House demands the blending of not one, but many varieties of choice Highland-grown Latin American coffees. With great care and skill, our Maxwell House experts examine, test, and select Manizales for mellowness, for richness, they add Medellins. For vigor, they select other choice coffees. And for fine, full body, they add Bucaramangas. All blended in one great coffee, radiant roasted to flavor perfection. And brought to you roaster fresh 2 ways, either in the familiar blue tin or in the brand new ultra vacuum glass jar. So friends, are you now enjoying America's favorite coffee? You can for just a fraction of a penny more per cup than the cheapest coffees sold. Insist on Maxwell House, always good to the last drop.
Imagine buying 100 stair heads and paying for the bottoms. Well, Dr. Miller was right. Poor George doesn't know which end is which. Well, I've got to stop him. It may take drastic measures, but I've got to stop him.
Hi, Gracie. Hey, I'm going to make $5,000. All I have to do is call Dallas.
Put down that telephone, you philanderer.
Huh?
How dare you call another woman?
What other woman?
Stella Dallas.
I'm calling Dallas, Texas.
No, George, please, don't use that phone.
Why not?
Why not? Well, it must be left open for emergency calls, like calling the doctor.
But no one is sick. Gracie, what's gotten into you?
Virus X. Call the doctor.
Oh, stop.
Well, then call the fire department.
The house isn't on fire.
Hand me those matches.
Gracie, cut that out. I'm going to place my call.
Oh, you can't, George. The phone's out of order.
Phone's out of order?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Hello? I can't talk to you now, Meredith. The phone's out of order. That silly Meredith Wilson calling up on a broken telephone.
Gracie, let go of the phone.
No.
I don't like to use my superior strength against a woman, but you force me to tear that telephone out of your hands. Now give me that phone. Please, Gracie, give me the phone.
No.
I said give it here, and I mean it. Oh, now you see, I dropped it. I just hope nothing happened to it. Oh, holy smoke. The phone is dead.
Oh, you murderer. You killed it.
This is too much. I'm going to take a cold shower. Then I'll go across the street to Jack Benny's and use his phone.
Well, I'll fix him so he can't use Jack Benny's phone. While he's in the shower, I'll take all the change out of his pocket.
Come in.
Hello, Mr. Burns. I'm from the telephone company. Your phone has been reported out of order, and I'm here to fix it.
Wonderful. I can make $5,000 if I call Dallas before the open. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's you again. The guy with the terrible temper. You'll wreck my phone.
Oh, have no fear, Mr. Burns. Now that I'm with the telephone company, I'm no longer a mad, mad thing. I found myself.
If only you hadn't found me.
I'm so happy with this job.
Please, put the phone down. I'll use carrier pigeon.
Why, this isn't serious. I'll have it fixed in a jiffy.
Don't bother. I'll wigwag. I'll send smoke signals. Don't touch the phone.
I'll just tighten this screw.
I'll walk to Dallas. Forget it.
There. It's fixed. I have placed at your disposal the greatest miracle of science, the telephone.
Good. Now go.
I'm so happy with this job. Now, if you get a hot tip on a racehorse, you can telephone and place $2 on its nose.
But I never
The
can.
favorite is Bangtail, but you bet on a long shot. Apple Blossom at 50-1. You turn on your radio and listen to the race.
But I never
They're
can.
off. It's a Bangtail out in front, and Apple Blossom second by a nose.
But I never...
At the quarter, it's Bangtail by 2 lengths, and Apple Blossom third by a nose.
But I never can...
At the half, it's Bangtail by 5 lengths, and Apple Blossom fourth by a nose.
But I never...
Coming into the stretch, it's Bangtail by 10 lengths, and Apple Blossom 10th by a nose.
But I never...
The winner is Bangtail by 17 lengths. You laugh, you cheer, you dance around the room, all because I fixed your telephone. I'm so happy with this job.
All right, now go.
You count your money.
Yes.
You're so... Wait.
Something happened.
Wait a minute.
Something. I know.
You bet on the other horse.
Oh.
You lost your $2, and it's my fault.
No, I didn't.
Well, I won't fix telephone.
No.
I'll quit this lousy job.
Okay. Now go.
Not before I remove temptation from your path.
No.
I'll wreck this telephone. I'll smash it. I'll rip it to pieces. There. I saved you $2.
Bill.
Yeah?
Can I call Dallas, Texas on your phone? If I hurry, I can make $5,000.
Oh, well, of course, George. My phone is right here, and you're welcome to use... Oh, excuse me. I'll answer that.
Oh, hurry,
Just a
please.
minute. Hello?
Yes, this is Dimples. Why, sure, I love you, honey. I love you dearly. Who is it? Oh, Mabel? Hiya, Mabel. A date? Well, let me look at my date book and see what I have available.
Order, man. Hurry up, Bill, please.
Mabel, the first night I have open is the 27th. Is that okay? Swell. That's November 27th.
Wow.
I'll see you then, honey. Bye. Now, George, I'll get that Dallas number for you right away. Excuse me. It's ringing again. Hello? Yes, this is Dimples. Oh, hello, Gladys. A date? Well, I'm booked up till November 28th, but you can have that. Okay, it's a date. Oh, no, honey, that's November 28th, 1949.
This guy is the male on a Turner.
Goodbye, Gladys.
Yeah. Now, look, lover boy. Get long-distance operator, quick.
Okay, George.
Hurry up.
Hello? Long-distance operator? I want to call Dallas, Texas, and I want to... Yeah, this is Dimples. Well, Myrtle, how are you?
This is Myrtle.
No, it's Myrtle.
Oh, it's my friend.
Yeah, Myrtle, get me Dallas, Texas right away. It's very important.
Hurry up.
You won't? Well, why not? No, Myrtle, I'm not calling another girl. Well, honest, honey, I swear I'm not.
I should have used Errol Flynn's phone.
Myrtle, if I'm not telling the truth, may they come and take my Maxwell House coffee. And you know Maxwell House is the very best in coffee drinking pleasure, yet it costs but a fraction of a penny more per cup than the cheapest coffee you can buy. Oh, you believe me now, huh? Sure. Hey, George, she's getting the Dallas operator.
Good. If I don't get those...
Hello? Hello, Dallas operator? Look, I wanted to... Yeah, this is Dimples. Well, hello, Linda Sue.
Oh, no.
How's every little thing, honey child?
Please, Bill, get the number. It's Ecstasy 2400.
Linda Sue, get me Maxwell House 2400.
Bill, it's Ecstasy.
Same thing. That's why with more than 1,000 brands to choose from, more people buy and enjoy Maxwell House than any other brand of coffee in the world. You're ringing it, Linda Sue? Okay.
Mr. Judson's secretary will probably answer. Then I'll talk.
Hello, is this Mr. Judson's secretary? Well,
check.
just a moment. I want to put Mr. Burn... Yeah, this is Dimples.
No.
Well, May, how are you? Yeah, I'm still with Maxwell House Coffee, and you know something, Ella May? Maxwell House comes to you roaster fresh 2 ways now. In the familiar blue vacuum tin or in the new ultra vacuum glass jar.
Give me the phone. Hello. Hello. This is George Burns. Mr. Judson said I could buy 100 head of cattle at $50 a head. So get the order in right away.
But Meredith, by the time I followed him to Bill Goodwin's house, he'd already called Texas. That's why I rushed over here to use your phone.
Well, I have Dallas on the phone for you now, Gracie. Here's Mr. Judson's secretary.
Oh, thank you. Hello, this is Mrs. Burns. Cancel that order my husband just made. Goodbye. I've saved him again. I just can't let George make any decisions, Meredith. Dr. Miller says he has the mind of a child.
By Jove, now that you mention it, George has tried to interest me in his childish pastime. He has frequently said, Meredith, why don't you go fly a kite?
If you think that's childish, wait till you hear this. George has been cutting out paper dolls.
Paper dolls?
Yep, out of Esquire magazine.
Gracie, I've seen those dolls in Esquire, but the publishers made quite a mistake. They didn't print any paper dresses to put on them.
Oh, well, I guess George is too dumb to realize that. But that's nothing compared to the decision about Mr. Judson's cattle. All he wanted to buy was the heads.
No.
Yes, and he was going to pay the same price that bottoms bring.
Well, that's ridiculous. Heads aren't even half the size.
I wonder what he wanted with them anyway.
Well, perhaps he wanted to hang them on your walls.
Oh, well, if That's it. I guess the heads would have looked better.
Poor George.
Yeah, we must be kind to him and try to make his second childhood a happy one.
Well, he's welcome to come over and play with my electric train.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a treat. During his first childhood, they didn't have electricity. Come to think of it, they didn't even have trains.
Say, here comes George up the walk now.
Uh-oh. Now, Meredith, don't tell him I canceled his order for those cattle heads. It would break his childish heart.
Have no fear, Gracie. My lips are sealed. Enter.
Meredith, have you seen... Oh. Well, there you are, Gracie. What are you doing here?
Just visiting, dear.
That's right, just visiting, dear.
You both sound awfully guilty. I've got a hunch you're hiding something from me. Now, what is it?
That threatening tone will avail you nothing, George. My lips are sealed.
Yes. Don't let him scare you, Meredith.
No form of torture will persuade me to betray our secrets.
Stout heart, Meredith.
You may boil me in oil, but I'll never reveal that Gracie called Dallas and canceled your order.
Attaboy, Meredith.
So that's it, huh?
What's it?
Gracie canceled my order.
Oh, you were eavesdropping outside, eh?
Yeah, I'm sneaky. Gracie, why did you do such a thing?
I did it to protect you, George. You see, you have the mind of a child and the body of a man.
I have not.
Well, it's practically the body of a man.
I didn't mean that.
Well, anyway, I told Dr. Miller your dream, and he said you should never make a decision.
You told him my dream? Holy smoke, I see it all now. Gracie, you're the one with the mind of a child and the body of a man.
Oh, George, you need new glasses.
Gracie, what?
Say, excuse me for busting in like this, but I've been looking all over for you. Did you buy them cattle, little man?
No, I didn't, Mr. Judson. You see, Gracie...
Well, let me shake your hand. You're a smarter man than I am.
Huh?
Cattle prices has went down again. You saved yourself a passel of money.
I did?
Yeah. How come you was so shrewd?
Well, I merely anticipated the market fluctuation.
Say, you're a financial genius.
Well, I wouldn't limit it to finances. I have an intelligent grasp of all complex situations.
Whoo! Wait. Boy, you got a smart husband, little lady. Thanks to him, you ain't stuck with all that beef.
Well, I may not have any beef, but look at the ham I'm stuck with.
Join us again next Thursday when we'll all be back. George Burns, Gracie Allen, Bill Goodwin, Meredith Wilson, and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and yours truly, Toby Reed. And now...
Good things.
The easy way.
Do you like good things the easy way? Then get instant Maxwell House coffee.
So good.
So good. True coffee flavor and fragrance, because Instant Maxwell House is not a so-called coffee product. It's all pure Maxwell House coffee in instant form.
And so easy.
So easy. Instant Maxwell House means great coffee instantly in your cup. No fuss, no muss, no bother. Today, try Instant Maxwell House. Instantly good to the last drop.
Good night.
Until next Thursday, good night and good luck from the makers of Maxwell House, America's #1 preferred brand of coffee. Always good to the last drop. The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show is written by Paul Henning and Keith Fowler. And now stay tuned in for Noah Webster Says, which follows immediately over most of these stations.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
I've read a bunch of George Burns' books, but if you want to read what I think is the quintessential George Burns book, find his book, Gracie, A Love Story. And that says it all. He talks about his life with Gracie, how Gracie was really the smart one that really didn't want to be on the stage. And, when she finally retired from the television show, she says, I'm done. And after the last TV show, she didn't really do any stage work or television work or any work after that. She rested until she passed. George Burns, Gracie Allen, 77 years ago, February 19th, 1948. Gracie, A Love Story is the name of the book. Find it. And hang around, because you're not going to find it in the Jot 'em Down store. I know that because we'll check in with Lum and Abner. It won't be there. You know it.
Let's look ahead to 1966, and there you are in your beautiful new home. You've got automatic gadgets everywhere. There's a sparkling new dream car in your garage. The youngsters are in a fine college. All's right with the world. Is this just an idle dream? No, this is a real future that you can start building right now. A secure, carefree, prosperous future built with United States savings bonds. In 10 years, you'll get back $4 for every $3 you've invested. Join the payroll savings plan where you work, or buy bonds where you bank. Start in 1956 to make 1966 the beginning of the golden years.
All right, here on Classic Radio Theater, we're going to wrap this episode up with an episode of Lum and Abner, and this is from the Diogenes Smith storyline, Wonderful World, and you'll be surprised when you find out who Diogenes really is. It's not who he is, it's what he is. This episode of Lum and Abner goes back 83 years, February 19th, 1942.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. Folks, I've got an idea that one of the main reasons why so many of you enjoy these regular radio visits with Lum and Abner is because folks down in Pine Ridge usually take things sort of slow and easy. So different from the life most of us are forced to live in this busy, exciting world these days. We hurry to work in the morning, we hurry through our day's work, we hurry through supper, and then if we're not too tired, we hurry out for the evening to get some relaxation. Well, it's no wonder that headaches, nervous indigestion, and other minor stomach upsets occasionally put us off our stride these days. Now, if you're one of those folks who are always on the go, I just hope for your sake that yours is an Alka-Seltzer home. For if you are Alka-Seltzer wise, you already know how quickly and pleasantly it can ease your discomfort on those occasions when some common ache or pain causes distress. And if you don't know from experience how helpful Alka-Seltzer can be, take the word of the thousands who found out and try it. Take Alka-Seltzer for relief in occasional headaches, nervous indigestion, sour upset stomach, heartburn, muscular aches and pains, and morning after misery. You'll feel better fast. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, everyone in Pine Ridge is still going out of his way to be honest, kind, and generous in an effort to win the $10,000 that Diogenes Smith is offering to the town's most model citizen. However, little has been seen of Diogenes lately, as he's been working late at night printing his pamphlets in the workshop, which the old fellows fixed up for him in the feed room. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum has just returned from his pamphlet delivering duties. Listen.
Granny, I'll be glad when the 3 months of this honesty contest is over.
Me too.
I wore a blister big as a hen's egg on my right foot, tramping all over town with these pamphlets on right living and stuff.
Yeah, I seen you sort of limping when you come in just now.
Yeah, and that ain't the worst of it, neither. When I get over near the schoolhouse, the young'uns follow me around and holler out stuff about me being a deliver boy.
Well?
It's embarrassing, that's what it is. Downright embarrassing.
Yeah, well, now, I'll be proud to take over your work for you, Lum, if you want me to, and hand out the pamphlets for a while.
No. Diogenes pointed me to do this job, and I can't let him down. I got to show him how helpful and trustworthy I am.
Yeah, well, if you got blisters on your feet, though, Lum, why, you ought not to be out walking.
No, I can handle it all right, Abner. Besides, you got enough work to do right here now. Well, when did all them get here?
Huh?
All them canned goods there.
Oh, the truck from the wholesale house just brung 'em out about half an hour ago. I was just getting ready to stack 'em up in the shelves.
Well, I'll do that as long as I'm back now. You just sit there and take it easy.
Why, no, I'll do it myself, Lum. Now, you sit down and rest your feet there.
No, this ain't no work for you, Abner. I'm taller and I can reach up better. It's too strenuous for you. I'll stack up the cans.
No, sir, now, you got blisters on your feet, Lum.
It don't matter how many blisters I got. I'm always willing to keep going and lend a helping hand to my feller man.
Well, what are you talking so loud for? Oh, Diogenes can't hear you back there in the feed room, Lum. Not the way he's got that door boarded up.
How do you know he can't?
I done asked him.
Well, I'll stack up the cans anyway. He might be able to hear me.
Well, now wait now, Lum. Just leave them alone. Now get away. I'll stack them.
Hello, Mr. Long, Mr. Abner.
Oh, howdy, Cedric. Dog, you sneaked in here awful quiet.
Well, I have to. You see, I lost the little cap off my lantern, so now I have to walk quiet so I won't spill the coal oil out of it.
Well, why don't you just stick a potato there where the cap's supposed to be? That'll keep the coal oil in.
No, Mom, that wouldn't look very good. Wouldn't be neat.
Well,
I don't see what you have to carry that lantern around for anyway, Cedric.
Mr. Diogenes carries one. That's who I want to be like when I grow up.
Grow up? Why, you're already bigger than he is right now, Cedric. Why, sure you are. What was it you wanted when you come in, Cedric?
Oh, nothing. I just dropped into... Or no, wait a minute. I'm supposed to deliver a message from Mr. Diogenes.
From Diogenes?
Yes, Mom. He wants to see Mr. Lum about something private, he said.
Oh.
Something private? Granny, did you hear that, Abner?
Uh-huh.
Whereabouts does he want to see me, Cedric? In the feed room? Or, I mean, his printing shop?
No, Mom. Just go round to the side of the store there. He's waiting there for you, so you better hurry up, Mr. Lum.
I'm practical there right now. Something private, huh? Just leave them cans, Abner. I'll stack them up as soon as I get back.
No, I'll tend to it myself now. Cedric, what does Diogenes want Lum for?
I don't know, sir.
Oh, come on now, Cedric. Tell me.
Honest, I don't know, Mr. Abner. Mr. Diogenes never told me a thing. Just said he wanted to see him.
Doggies, I'd give my right arm to know what he's telling that Lum. Bound you something about me's about what it is. Or maybe he wants Lum to help him run that printing press back there. That'd be worse than ever having that Lum that close to Diogenes all the time.
I don't think that's what it is, Mr. Abner. I don't believe.
You don't, huh?
No, I know Mr. Diogenes don't want nobody to help him do the printing. He said he felt more inspired when he done the work all by himself.
When did he say all that?
Last night, long about 1 or 2 o'clock.
1 or 2? Hey, doggies, what was you doing up at that time of the night, Cedric?
Oh, me and the Macmillan boys had went out coon hunting, and we was just getting back to town. I seen a light back there in the feed room, and I got to feeling sorrowful for Mr. Diogenes having to work so long.
Well, that was thoughty of you.
So I went up and opened the back door to the feed room, and you know what? I nearly scared the daylights out of him.
Scared him?
Yes, Mom. He jumped 116 feet. His face sort of turned white. Boy.
Well, natural a feller to get scared that way, Cedric. You ought to knock before you open the door that way.
Yes, Mom.
That ain't polite the way you done that, Cedric, no.
No, Mom. Reckon why he has to work such long hours that way, though.
Well, I think I know, Cedric. I hate to admit to it, but it's all on account of me, I'm feared.
On account of you?
Yeah. You recollect how he got mad at me for turning in them IDs for pamphlets that Lum writ the other day and claiming them for my own?
Yes, Mom, I recollect.
Well, he taken that pamphlet writing job away from me, so now, natural, he has to do all the writing himself. And then he has to do the printing, too, so I reckon that just makes him stay up late of a night to do the printing. But don't you tell Lum none of this.
No, Mom, I ain't going to say nothing to nobody.
Lum still thinks I'm in awful good with Diogenes. He'll do might nigh anything I ask him to do now. He figures I'll make good reports about him to Diogenes.
Well, are you going to make a good report?
Why, of course not. I don't make no reports of no kind. But I want to keep him thinking I do. I think it makes old Lum sort of jealous, too.
Yes, Mom. Say, Mr. Abner, can you see anything on my face?
On your face? Let's see. Why, no, I can't see a thing, Cedric. You ain't expecting to get the measles or nothing, are you?
No, Mama. Look closer. Can't you see no whiskers?
Whiskers? Oh, of course not. Just that fuzz on your chin's all.
Doggone it anyway. I've rubbed 6 bottles of hair tonic on my face just so's I could grow me a beard like Mr. Dodgenese and win that $10,000 prize.
Well, you won't win it growing no beard, Cedric. I can tell you that right now.
Yes, Mom, I believe I will. I know Mr. Dodgenese says the way to win it was to be just like him, and he's got a beard, too.
Well, he never meant you ought to look like him, Cedric. He meant you ought to act like he does. Be kind and honest and lend a helping hand and follow all the things that he says to do.
Well, I've been doing that, too.
Well, that's what he means. You don't have to look like him. You couldn't look... Wait a minute. Here comes old Lomback.
Mom? Oh.
He must have got some good news. Yeah, I can tell by the way he's walking. Look at that big smile on his face.
Yes, sir, he's in a good humor with himself.
Oh, yeah. I doggies, that walk means he's got a big idea, too, I'm feared. I don't like that, Cedric.
You mind if I look around the store and see if I lost a cap off my lantern in here someplace?
No, go right ahead,
I won't
Cedric.
bother nothing.
No, go right ahead. Well, what Dodgenese want, Lum?
Oh, nothing. Secret stuff.
What secret stuff?
Oh, I ain't allowed to tell you, Abner.
Huh?
I will tell you this, though. I ain't no deliver boy no more.
No deliver boy?
No, sir. I've been promoted to circulating manager. What do you think of that?
Circulating manager?
Yes, sir. You ain't the only ones in good with Diogenes.
Well, what's a circulating manager supposed to do?
Oh, he's a feller that sees that the pamphlets get sent out to all the other towns in the country. Spread the word of honesty into all the darkened corners of the universe.
Oh.
Wish I could say that like he does. Say, Abner, we got any red ribbon in the store here?
Red ribbon?
Yeah.
Doggy, you don't have to wear ribbons to be a circulating manager, do you?
Of course not.
Well, I was going to say I wouldn't want to be one of them.
Well, this ain't got to be wore in my hair. I just want a little piece to put in my coat lapel, so's the feller will recognize me when I get to the county seat.
What feller?
I can't tell you, Abner. Secrets.
Huh?
All I can let you know is that I'm making a secret trip to deliver a whole package of honesty pamphlets to a certain feller. But I can't tell you where I'm going.
Oh. Well, where's this feller from that you're going to meet in there at the county seat?
County seat?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How'd you know that?
Huh?
Grannies, was you spying on us? Eavesdropping, huh?
I weren't no such a thing spying. You said that yourself just now. Honest, you did.
I did, huh?
Why, sure.
Grannies, I got to watch myself. First thing I know, I'll be blabbing everything Diogenes told me. Even the secret password.
Secret password?
Yeah. Light the lantern, friend. Then if I got the right feller, he answers, the lantern's lit. But that's something I can't tell you.
Oh, come on, tell me, Lon.
No, the password's a secret, Abner. I can't tell you or nobody else what it is.
Please tell me. Honest, I won't tell it to nobody else.
No, I promised Diogenes I wouldn't.
Oh, Dad, blame it.
Besides, if I told you, you'd just make a report to Diogenes about me breaking my promise. I might tell you if you wasn't one of them deputies. You are a deputy, ain't you?
Well, I ain't allowed to say, Lum.
Yeah, I know. Listen, Abner, will you tell me whether you're one if I'll tell you whether I'm one or not?
Well, I reckon if both of us tell, why, it's all right. You better not let Cedric hear, so...
No, better just whisper.
Yeah.
I ain't one.
Oh, well, I ain't neither.
You ain't?
No.
Well, Granny, you sure been acting like one. You've been acting awful suspicious.
Why, I never done it. You the one that's acting suspicious.
No, sir, it was you.
Ah.
To think I wasted all my being nice and kind stuff on you. Granny's ought to knowed better.
Well, I was awful nice to you, too. Don't forget that.
You made me believe you was one, just so's I'd be nice to you and do the work around here.
I never done no such a thing.
I never noticed you doing nothing to make me like you any better.
Well, I was going to stack all them canned goods up for you just now.
For me?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's your work.
Huh?
Go ahead and get 'em up there in the shelf.
Well, I ain't going to do no such a thing. You got to do that yourself, Lum. You
Why,
ought to do a little
ornery
work
little
around
varmint.
here. All right. I'll do your work, Lum. I'll do my work, too. I'll do all the work around here. Yeah, wonderful world, Diogenes.
Oh, wonderful world, Diogenes.
Say, folks, how many times you heard someone say, "Oh, for the good old days"? Well, I wonder, were the good old days so good after all? How would you like, for example, to have to go back to the old-fashioned kitchen cure methods of relieving cold distress, now that the modern Alka-Seltzer way is proven to be so pleasant and effective? You know, until you've tried it, you have no idea how quickly and how pleasantly Alka-Seltzer offers relief for that aching head and that dull, ache-all-over feverish feeling of a cold. You'll want to use it as a gargle, too, for your sore, raspy throat due to the cold. So be modern, folks, and be wise. The next time you catch a cold, take common sense precautions. Get more rest than usual, watch your diet, dress sensibly, and take Alka-Seltzer. See how much better it makes you feel. Remember, you can get Alka-Seltzer at all drugstores.
Oh, if Blum only knew what he was circulating. 83 years ago, February 19th, 1942, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream. Comedy tomorrow, along with, then we'll have drama the rest of the week, and then some westerns coming up. Thanks for being with us here on Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.